Thank you for having me here. It's really a pleasure. It's been an honor. Yalta, we've been knowing each other for many years from New York, so I'm very touched by the fact that after so many years I can be with Yalta next to me for an opening of a film of mine. The movie is going to come out in Italy 2 weeks from now with a with 400 copies all over Italy and in Europe. So I'm really curious to see what is going to be the reaction, and I hope you enjoy it. I'd rather make a short talk now, and later have a Q&A if you want, and I'll be ready for you. Okay, so enjoy the movie. There is a fantastic Chinese actress, Zhang Jinchu, who is a I think is one of the main stars now in China, and I hope you enjoy. My wife, because she has a very, I think, common thing. She has a celiac. She's a gluten problem. She cannot eat anything that has gluten inside. So since I married her and we had kids, I always worried about food. When we go in a restaurant, we said, is it safe? It's good? It's well done? If there is anything wrong, because you can die with celiac disease. And so this made me aware more about what you eat. And then from then on, I started reading things and I opened up. And what gave me inspiration more than everything else was a book by an American guy called Michael
Pollan.
The guy that wrote...
Michael Pollan.
No, not Michael Pollan. It's the guy that wrote Salt, Sugar, and Fat. Moss. I think it's Michael Moss. He got the Pulitzer Prize for this fantastic book. And this really opened my eyes. The thing about the chain food is really huge, huge. And I used a very controversial episode, the melamine thing, that of course was all over the papers. But basically what is really scary is that even big companies now are involved in that. Because I'm sure you saw it was on Bloomberg, I think 6 months ago, there was a big discussion among the huge companies like Kellogg's, Philip Morris, Kraft, and they were responsible for the fact that in the future in the USA they will have 40 million people with diabetes. And they know that this is going to happen. So the health organization was blaming them. So they said, okay, we might change our attitude, but we're going to fire 200,000 people. So at the end, nobody was responsible, and the economy department was in the middle and didn't know what to do, if to give reason to the health or to the big multinationals. So it's a very interesting subject, because what people usually say, but if you eat little poison, it doesn't hurt you. Fast food is not bad if you eat it once a week. The problem is that most of the people, especially poor people, eat it every day. And there's a fact of chain, and it gets more complicated. China is more responsible, not because I think they're more mean than Italian or Russian, because we do the same thing, unfortunately, in Italy, but because of the numbers. They are 1.6 billion people, and in scale, they have like 4 million people that work on tainted food. So when 4 million people do this kind of job, it creates a huge mess all over the world. Please.
I wanted to know about that scene with the pig slaughterhouse. What was that like shooting?
This was
that was hard to watch.
This is of course, we used. This is not. We were not allowed. We tried to sneak in some real bad places, and of course they wouldn't let us in. We were threatened, so we used. Actually, those pigs don't have anything wrong, but the one we saw, they look exactly alike, because you can tell from the way they look. The problem is that it's like the fish thing. Fukushima was one of the biggest scandals all over Europe. They sold tuna all over the world. And you eat tuna and you light a lamp. But of course, it's even thinkable, because no one would throw away millions and millions of dollars worth of fish, because money, greediness is stronger than anything else. And when we did the first research in Gioia Tauro, which at the beginning, the Camorra and Drangheta and Mafia in Italy deals a lot with this. And I interviewed a guy that did, I think, the worst thing in Italy. They sunk 30 ships full of very dangerous and radioactive stuff, and they're still in the Mediterranean. So at that time, I've been a congressman for 5 years, meanwhile. So I was really shocked, and I said, how, why did you do it? And don't you have kids? And he looked at me and said, I know, but now I'm rich. So I was looking at this guy that was poisoning his own wealth, so his own food for his kids, the ocean where we swim. So humankind is crazy, crazy. Yeah. But this movie is a lot of things. It's not only about this. It's about. I hope this kind of came to you. It's about responsibility. In the last, since I believe the age of reason, I don't see anyone going on TV saying it's my fault. Nobody says anymore it's my fault. Everybody says I killed because my mother was very aggressive. I killed because I was a spoiled kid. So I like this character because then he got killed, but he decided to tell the truth. And it's something that is really painful to say, because then you have to admit you made a mistake. It's a very simple thing, even in private life, even with your wife, with your best friend, saying, I'm sorry, I did a mistake. And I think when you do this step, your life changes completely, because you take full responsibility of your act. And that's why I dedicated the movie to my wife, because she did a lot in my life. So there is even a lot of private things in here. Yes?
I noticed that your locations were really great and stuff. And I don't know how you got that, the United Nations, I don't know what that was for. You had a lot of shots from a great perspective. And I'm wondering, could you tell me about what camera did you use?
I use an ARRI, the new ARRI with a codex. It's a new ARRIFlex digital that has a 4K quality. 4K is the top. The camera sees more than the eye. Actually, with the DP, it was a bit difficult in the beginning because we had too much light, because we were used to different sensibility for the camera. So, for example, the shot at night in Hong Kong. I mean, I think before this camera it was impossible to have a shot like that, because you couldn't have this kind of quality, because you cannot light Hong Kong, not even if you are Steven Spielberg. There's no way you can put in each room a strong light in order to get this kind of quality. Now with this camera, you can basically shoot anywhere and any place. So it's very hard to deal in the beginning. You have to work with two engineers. So basically, you don't need light people anymore. You need an engineer that's always backstage with you on two computers, and they work on clouds in the computer. So the computer tells the intensity of the light and how much and what is the range of quality you can stretch, and you can really basically paint. That's why I was upset you couldn't see the movie the way it was shot, because on top of being a good photography, we basically repaint the movie after that. So we saturate blacks and things in order to make things different, and it's amazing what you can do now with those digital cameras. And the United Nations thing, this is the convention center of Hong Kong, but we didn't shoot from outside. That was very common. I shot from inside, and you see the door moving. Just to tell you how fast you can go. This scene, I shot it in 2 hours, the whole scene.
Wow.
The dolly, the thing, the headshot. Then I moved, and I did the killing scene at night. And in the middle, I shot something in the street that I needed to do. So it's, I think it's interesting that you can shoot a movie like that, because I think the future, since people, this kind of movie theater, they're going to close in 5 years. They're moving from multiplex to megaplex. That's a new plan in the world. But megaplex in the future will be places where basically the big mall, the owner of the big mall, of the shops in the big mall, will decide the kind of content they want to watch. So basically, I think that the future of the movie industry, the huge one, will be on big event, Iron Man, Batman, all those, this kind of thing, the mass market one. Movie like mine, I think in the future people will watch it home or directly on tablet, or now you can have a nice screening home with a fantastic quality. So we need to be able to shoot independent movie with budget that can make the money back. Because then you go to B2B, business to business, directly to the audience. It's a big revolution, I think, in the movie industry. And I hope people from Google, Facebook will finally pay the right. Instead of living in Ireland, they're paying taxes. Because this Google, Facebook, and all those new kids in town destroyed the market, the film industry, because they're using content without paying anything. So this is another big issue, because those kids change everything in the board, but the young generation download film for free, and they don't understand how much a product costs. They think everything is free, because you Google, YouTube, you download what you want, and it must be free. It's nothing about this. Good quality, good actors is a chain of professional people. You are a set designer, so to get your quality, I must have you. The costume designer here is Milena Canonero. She got 4 Academy Awards. She joined the movie, and of course you have to pay her together. So the whole chain of the movie industry is going in a different direction, and eventually, with the quality that you have now of cameras and equipment, you can do a lot of progress, and the young kids can shoot with less money.